Welcome to TFP, the Theatrefolk podcast. I am Lindsay Price, resident playwright for Theatrefolk. Hello, I hope you're well. Thanks for listening. Today, it's all about gel. Artistic gel. But first, let's do some Theatrefolk news. Have you looked into what we have here at Theatrefolk Global Headquarters beyond plays? Today I'm specifically talking about PTT, Practical Technical Theater, the complete solution for technical theater classrooms. This is a DVD instructional set. There are 10 instructional DVDs covering topics from lighting to sound, set building, stage management, and everything in between. We have new demo DVDs that include the 2 latest programs. These are brand new programs, Careers and Costumes. Drop us a line because we'd be happy to send you a free demo. And where can you find this podcast? We post new episodes every Wednesday at theatrefolk.com and on our Facebook page and Twitter. You can find us on the Stitcher app, and you can subscribe to TFP on iTunes. All you have to do is search on the word Theatrefolk. Episode 41, Needing Time to Gel. So, of course, we're not talking about curbing flyaways, although I will say that ever since I started growing my hair, it's something that my hair is desperate to do at times, like fly off of my head. It's very annoying. But, of course, we're talking about artistic gel. The gel that is time. The time that is needed to make an artistic venture its absolute best. Okay, now that I've said that out loud, what would artistic gel look like? You know, as a product. If you could actually add gel, like hair gel, to curb those flyaways, if you could add gel to your work and it would actually make something better, can you imagine? That would be awesome. Okay, picture the scene. You're working on something and it's not going well. Picture the commercial. There's a disheveled writer at a desk. Messy hair, messy flyaway hair, dirty shirt, surrounded by paper. The guy crumples up another piece of, unfulfilled hope. Slumps his hand into his chin, looking helplessly at the camera in that exaggerated, I am at a loss, non-union actory kind of way. His life is just awful and his play is not going well at all. Sad clown face, and the voiceover comes in. Are you at a loss with your play? Tried every trick in the book? I love alliteration. Okay. Don't despair. Try artistic gel. No. Okay, what would it be called? Grand gel. That's not quite alliteration enough. Block. Be gone. Haha, I like that one. Okay. Block be gone. And a beautiful girl with nice hair, no flyaways, and a lot of teeth steps into the room with a toothpaste tube of block be gone and squirts gel all over the papers, which, okay, so that's not a great image. But because this is all made up, and as soon as the gel hits the page, we do a smash cut with lots of sparkles. And ta-da! A beautiful stack of papers. The writer's looking smooth and swank. Look at my beautiful play. Thanks to Block Be Gone. And just like that, all of our problems are solved. Because that's what commercials tell us, right? Product such and such, artistic gel, they make our lives better. So Craig spent a couple of years doing commercial auditions, and that was the number one thing he learned about going on those auditions. You have to deliver the look or the text or whatever as if what it is you're selling makes your life better. And of course, artistic gel would make all our lives a piece of cake. What kind of cake? Okay, I have to stop. Let's bring this puppy back around. I actually do have something I want to talk about. It's, what are we talking about? The gel. The gel of time. Oh, can you imagine if we could manipulate time with a gel? I don't know, that sounds messy. Okay, so I know some artists, and they only exist in first draft mode. I swear. See, I do have something applicable to talk about. They bang something out, and they get to the end, and aside from, a little touch up here and there, they don't change very much. The piece gets to the end in whatever form that takes, and that's it. It's done. And there's reasons. Sometimes this is because of a time crunch. Deadlines loom over work, and it needs to get done. Sometimes it's because, it's important to produce, to get product out, not sit on your hands, but produce, ship out. I get that so much. I get very, very antsy when my plays are sitting around doing nothing. Okay, now I have this image of the lazy no-gooder draft lounging around, smoking something, Cheeto dust all over a wife beater, lounging. Why don't you go do something? Why don't you go get a job, you lazy no-good piece of play? Shaking my fist at the draft. Talking about how the drafts of today, they're so much worse. They're so much more lazier than the way the drafts acted when we were young. All right. So at least I'm entertaining myself. Somebody should be entertained here. It might as well be me, sitting here talking to a box. I might as well get a good time out of this. So, I know it's important to get things out. Get out, you lazy bum. No. I know it's important to get things out, and I know it's important to meet deadlines. But I think it's just as important, and I think it's, if you have the ability to let your work gel. Not put gel all over your work, but to let it develop over time. I wonder if Congeal, I wonder if Congeal is a better image, and it's not, because then I just had this image of things in my fridge congealing, and that just grosses me out, makes me a little nauseous. Okay, gel good, congeal bad. Artistic adventures need time. I like that mistake. So it's supposed to be, of course, artistic ventures, but I kind of like artistic adventures. What would your artistic adventure be? So artistic adventures need time, and this can apply to both individual products and our overall work as artists, who we are as artists. To be an effective and efficient artist, that doesn't happen overnight. Yes, events can happen quickly to an artist, for sure. But to be an artist is not like, this is a very image-filled podcast today. Okay, join me. Take my hand. Come with me on this artsy-fartsy image. Light candles if you have to. But to be an artist is not an explosion. It is not a firework that burns brightly and then dies right out. And I guess it could be, but that would be a really short career and not very satisfying, except for the one, ooh, ah, and then poof, you're done. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. I don't want that. We want long, multi-decade careers. We want, okay, wait for it. We want long, slow, burning embers. Huh? We want long and slow for our artistic lives, not bright and fast. And bright and fast can be very tempting. Fireworks are pretty and they're a spectacle, and they can, they make wonderful, wonderful pictures. But it takes time to get embers going and to keep them going. It takes time for your process to gel. It takes time to figure out a process, to figure out from one piece to the next what the necessary steps are. You just can't pick up an artistic process at the store. You have to develop it for yourself, and that takes time. And I think sometimes that's what happens to artists who have something that burns so bright and then we never hear from them again. They have that ooh, ah, and then they expect another ooh, ah, and another one, and it doesn't come, and then they don't know what to do. They don't realize the time gel thing. They don't develop a process that will take them of their own doing from piece to piece, from project to project. And when that doesn't happen, their artistic temperament, it just dies away. And I think that even when individual projects are troublesome for me, the overall framework of my process is pretty firmly in place. We have embers, ladies and gentlemen. We have embers. And the way that I write, and the consistency with which I write, the steps, it's taken years to put that into place. You know? So, and now, transitioning so seamlessly from big picture to small picture. Watch it. Here it goes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Individual projects also need time. They need time to gel. They need time to fit into place. Plays are never the best they can be in the first draft. They can be written, and they can be good, and they can go out in the world and be good and be satisfactory, but they will never be the best that they could be. And I have found over the years, 18 of them, okay, when did my career become old enough to vote? I have found that when I write, there are 2 ways that time can improve my work. First, when I get to the end of a draft, if I can leave it for a day, a week is better. If I can just let it gel before returning to it, then I can see the script with fresh eyes. Getting to the end of a draft can be really draining. It is for me. And I know it's not coal mining in any way, shape, or form, but I really get that it's an emotional spent thing. And if I try and do rewrites in that moment, I've just gotten to the end. And if I even think about going back to the beginning and starting my way through, I'm just not in the best frame of mind. My brain is tired and weepy. But if I wait, get some rest, go out to dinner, watch some television, then I'm revitalized, fresh as a daisy. I can see the script for what it really is. I have a little distance. I can see better ways to say lines of dialogue. I am able to answer questions. I can take my script to another level, and really that's what I want. That is what I'm here for. That is my purpose for my artistic life. I want my work to be the best that it can be. Another thing about giving an artistic venture time is that if I'm not rushed, I can really work through my rewrites. I can take the time that they need, because rewrites take sometimes twice as long to figure out than writing that first draft. The first draft is the due draft. You get it down. You're moving forward. Maybe there's some plot holes. Oh, we're not worried about that. We're just moving. And then in the rewrites, you have to sort of slowly go through and work each particular question, each particular, moment, each particular line of dialogue. As if you want to go slowly, as if walking through gel. Okay, see, I got in the middle of that and I thought that was a bit dumb. Okay, but you know what I mean, right? If I am going to make the play the best that it can be, I need the time to do that. I need time to let a sentence sort of, again, gel in my head. I need to let characters gel in my head, develop a character profile, and then rewrite a character's dialogue to fit that profile. I have done that time and time again, where the character's dialogue that happens in the first draft completely changes in the second, just because I have honed in on who exactly that character is and how exactly I want them to say things. Sometimes I overwrite a draft, to find as many different ways to express my theme, and it takes time in the second, third, to hone in and, again, make a script efficient, effective. It takes time for a play to gel and come together in that way. So, I actually have some Well, they're not visual aids. This is a podcast. Oral aids? Sure, let's go with that. This gives you a chance to listen to some other voices other than me and my little daft expression here today. So I have an example of artistic gelling where time has been used to make work better. And this is an example from Nikki and Sarah Live on MTV. So Nikki and Sarah is a late night show on MTV with comedians Nikki Glazer and Sarah Schaefer. And I know these ladies from their podcast, You Had to Be There, which I have been listening to since they started the podcast in Sarah's basement apartment. And over the past year, they've been talking about their journey to get this TV show. From Nikki failing to get a spot on a different show, to their pilot development, to the maddening wait to find out if MTV picked up the show, to getting picked up, to what it's been like creating the show. And I was very, very excited to see the first show. And I watched it. And I didn't like it. Pretty much at all. It was stilted. They didn't read the teleprompter well. And at the beginning, they stand behind these weird desks. They still do that, but it just didn't gel at all. And this is not, them just sort of kamikaze diving into this project. This is a project that they have been developing for, on and off for a year. And this is what they got to TV, and it didn't quite work. Okay, so I have promised a clip from the first show, and I just went to their website, and the first episode is no longer available, so I'm a loser. But this is from the second, which I think is the same kind of example.
Welcome to Nikki and Sarah Live. I'm Nikki Glazer.
And I'm Sarah Schaefer.
I'm 5'9".
And I'm a 10. Welcome. Welcome to our late night pop culture laugh fest. If it happened in pop culture this week, we're on it.
YOLO, bitches. Let's do this.
So, I could have abandoned the show. Just listened to their podcast, but I didn't. I've been watching consistently because these are smart, funny girls. There is a reason they got a show. There is a reason they've been working together. And they know what they want. But work needs time. It needs time the pieces need time to fit together, to gel together, to become something. Work needs time. And when I got to the last episode, they did 12 episodes this year. Thanks to the glory of the internet. Every episode plus lots of bonus stuff is online. And so I just recently got to the last episode, and I was amazed at the improvement. They're more comfortable. They're better. They're really getting it.
Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight is that the MTV Movie Awards were this past weekend, and we were there.
Yeah. We got to walk the red carpet, interview some huge stars. It was amazing. One of the biggest thrills of the night was when we ran into Kim Kardashian. Take a look.
Guys, Kim Kardashian is here.
Kardashian.
We are going to try really hard, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
Kim, we love you! Kim!
You look amazing!
Okay. Yeah. So it was from a distance, but we totally saw her. We did.
Yeah, check it out again in slow-mo,
Yeah,
please.
check it out. That's right. We got snubbed by a Kardashian.
And she's pregnant, so technically we got snubbed by 1.5 Kardashians.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, the best clip for me actually is a visual aid. It is a visual clip. It made me just laugh out loud, and it really honed in to me on this is what they want to be. This is what they want to do. Now they're really getting it. So go to mtv.com, look at Nikki and Sarah Live, and look at the interviewer arm touch bit from their very last episode. Kind of made me sad that the show was over, because I think if they were able to keep going now, to keep doing shows, to keep getting in that rhythm, to do another show and another show and another show, that they might really have something. And actually, it was really cool, because as I was writing this, working on this podcast, I came across information that they are going to be renewed for a second season, which I think is great, because I think it's only going to get better. And that's where we're going to end. Take care, my friends. Take care.